This is Matador News, and these are today's headlines. The FBI has opened an investigation into the $300 million Whitefish energy contract to restore power in Puerto Rico. And the Dodgers face elimination for the first time in the postseason after falling behind in the World Series 3-2 to the Houston Astros.
Hello and welcome to Matador News. I'm Savannah Palacio.
And I'm Ambar Rodriguez. House Republicans say they are getting ready to reveal their tax reform bill this week. President Trump says he wants Congress to pass the bill by Thanksgiving and have it on his desk by Christmas.
I want the House to pass a bill by Thanksgiving. I want all of the people standing by my side when we get ready to sign by Christmas. Hopefully before Christmas, you'll all be in the room standing front row center. I think we'll be able to find a place where you can all stand front row center. It'll be a big event.
The bill looks to cut $1.5 trillion in taxes. Still at issue, eliminating state and local tax deductions, as well as cutting retirement contributions. House leaders are expected to release the bill on Wednesday.
We're still waiting for lawyers from Facebook, Twitter, and Google to testify before the Senate and House committees this week. But new information from the major three social media platforms widens the scope of Russian meddling in the 2016 U.S. presidential election. Facebook says 126 million American users may have been exposed to content generated by the Internet Research Agency, a Russian government-linked troll farm. In written testimony to the Senate Judiciary Subcommittee on Crime and Terrorism, Facebook General Counsel Colin Stretch says 29 million people were served content directly from the Russians. His testimony also mentions some ads appear on Instagram, which is owned by Facebook. Twitter identified more than 2,700 accounts reportedly linked to the Russian government. Google later revealed that Russian-linked accounts had bought thousands of dollars worth of search and display ads, and accounts with Russian internet addresses or using Russian currency purchased another $50,000 worth of ads. The House Intelligence Committee is expected to release the Russian-bought Facebook ads to the public soon.
More reactions today to yesterday's announcements for the Mueller investigation into the ties between the Trump administration and Russia's efforts to meddle in the U.S. election. First was the news that the former Trump campaign foreign policy advisor George Papadopoulos has pleaded guilty to statements to the FBI. He was arrested in July. Legal experts say Papadopoulos' plea may mean that he is cooperating with investigators. Former Trump campaign chairman Paul Manafort and campaign official Rick Gates pleaded not guilty to counts against him, including conspiracy against the U.S., conspiracy to launder money, and counts involving to cover up their ties to the foreign governments. Both men are currently under house arrest. President Trump and other White House officials are distancing themselves from the three men. More indictments could be coming.
The FBI opens a preliminary inquiry in the $300 million Whitefish contract secured by the Puerto Rico Electric Power Authority, also known as PREPA. There has been much speculation as to why the young and understaffed energy company was selected to rebuild the territory's massive electrical grid. As of Sunday morning, 5 weeks since Hurricane Maria hit, more than 70% of people on the island are still without power. The governor of Puerto Rico, Ricardo Rossello, says he is happy to comply with the investigation.
I've taken definitive actions, canceling the Whitefish contract, and now I've asked for an investigation.
In response, the PREPA officials say they are seeking the contract's cancellation. FEMA and the White House distanced themselves from the deal late last week.
CSUN student joins forces to fight the passing of Executive Order 1100. The university's president showed her support in an email to students and faculty last night. Matador News reporter Luzita Pineda is in the newsroom with more on the story.
Thanks, Ambar. Last week, CSUN's Faculty Senate voted no on Executive Order 1100. This order would have gotten rid of Section F, a requirement for students to take classes in gender, race, ethnicity. Students and faculty joined forces and protested. Chicano and Chicana Studies professor Theresa Montano says kudos needs to be given to students.
The credit should not be necessarily given to the Faculty Senate. the credit for the position of no on Executive Order 1100 should be given to the students and to the faculty who organized and basically held the Academic Senate accountable.
After a week of calls for action, students got on the stage to share their stories. American Indian Studies Chairman Brian Burkhar says it is moving to hear students speak out.
What was really powerful to me was hearing, the students speak out, right? And I mean, it was beautiful, and it was painful at the same time, right? Because the things that they were talking about, having gone through, having lived through, in terms of who they are, what they represent as students, was really hard to hear.
CSUN President Diane Harrison sent out an email saying she's proud of students and will never stop advocating for their education. Liberal Studies major Luis Valladares says students need to continue to make their voices be heard.
As a tutor, as a staff, and as a student, I urge students to come out often when something like this happens, because even though students have responsibilities, they should take it seriously because in the future it will affect them. I'm happy I didn't pass, but...
Faculty members in several departments will meet this week to talk about the next step following this victory. Back to Savannah in the studio.
The driver of a stolen sheriff's vehicle is in custody after a rush hour chase through the San Fernando Valley. Police say the male suspect repeatedly swerved into oncoming traffic before backing up into a law enforcement vehicle involved in the pursuit. Gunfire then shattered the rear window of the SUV. It was not immediately clear who or where the gunfire came from and how the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department SUV was stolen. The driver surrendered without incident.
Now let's go to Marissa Martinez for sports.
Dodgers faced elimination for the first time in postseason after falling behind in the World Series 3-2 to the Houston Astros. After what was a crazy and epic classic of a World Series game, the Astros outlasted the Los Angeles Dodgers in an unforgettable 13-12 win. Alex Bregman's 2-out single in the bottom of the 10th inning won the game. The Dodgers sent Rich Hill to the mound to face Justin Verlander once more. Hill pitched only 3 innings, while Verlander pitched a no-hitter until the 5th inning in Game 2. Both pitchers had a no decision after the game went to extra innings. Fans are encouraged to wear Halloween costumes, but face masks are not permitted. The Dodgers will host the Houston Astros tonight at 5 this evening in Game 6 in the World Series. The Golden State Warriors blew out the LA Clippers in Monday night's game. The Los Angeles Clippers were no match against the defending NBA champs, losing 141-113. It was the Golden State's 11th consecutive win over LA. The Warriors' defense held the Clippers to 45% field goal shooting. Blake Griffin struggled to score after being double-teamed when he touched the ball. Stephen Curry bounced back after a home loss to the Pistons. He scored 31 points and hit 7 three-pointers in last night's game. The Clippers started the season 4-0 and have lost 2 in a row. Now let's go to Morgan Ball and the latest in business with news.
California's gas tax will go up 12 cents tomorrow. The new increase raises the tax to a total of 30 cents per gallon. Diesel fuel in California will also increase by 20 cents, with a total gas tax of 36 cents per gallon. In 2018, there will be an added fee between $25 and $175 based on how much a vehicle is worth that will be added to the registration fee. Zero-emission vehicles could also be charged a $100 yearly fee starting in July 2020. The new gas tax and registration fee profits will go towards fixing roads, building new highways, and funding other transportation efforts in the state. Voters approved this measure in SB 1. It's Halloween, and Americans will spend more than $8 billion on candy, decorations, costumes, and cards this year. This is more than Americans have spent on Halloween in the last 5 years. The average American plans to spend about $86 this year on Halloween. The National Retail Federation says most of that money is spent on costumes, and almost $25 will be spent on candy and decorations. It might not sound like a lot, but Americans spend much more on winter holidays like Christmas and New Year's, which are right around the corner. Back to Marissa with health.
The Food and Drug Administration wants to take off claims about soy protein on food labels. Numerous studies have not found any correlation between soy protein reducing heart disease. This will affect products such as soy milk and tofu. The FDA says this doesn't mean soy is not good for your heart, but there is not enough evidence backing up the statement. This is the first time for FDA revoked a health claim. Officials say it will cost companies between $370,000 to $860,000 to relabel their products. The pumpkin spice latte turns 14 this year. Starbucks says it has become the most popular seasonal beverage ever. Over 200 million have sold since the drink first appeared. One of the reasons why it is so popular is the smell. Doctors say 17% of humans' perception of taste is related to smell, and about 25% is true taste. Smell also helps bring back good memories. Here's Morgan with the latest in entertainment.
Pop star Selena Gomez and her best friend and kidney donor Francia Raisa say their relationship with God is what got them through the transplant surgery over the summer. Gomez was diagnosed with the autoimmune disease lupus about 5 years ago. She was told she would need a kidney transplant to survive after complications with the disease, and her best friend stepped up. The pair went 6 months without speaking, while Gomez took time off at a facility to deal with anxiety, panic attacks, and depression, all brought on by her illness. After the surgery, Gomez no longer has arthritis, her blood pressure is lower, and she has more energy. Wendy Williams, the infamous talk show host who's known for exposing all of the latest celebrity gossip during her shows, gave her guests quite the scare while filming her Halloween segment. She introduced her yearly "How you booin'" costume contest, but couldn't finish her sentence. Williams' eyes widened as she started slurring her words and eventually fainted on stage. Camera crew members rushed to her side and then cut away to commercial. Williams eventually told the crowd her fall was not a stunt and that she had overheated from her Lady Liberty costume. She finished the show and announced her costume contest winners. The video went viral on social media, and celebrities showed their support for the talk show host, offering their well wishes. Hollywood, including Netflix, responds after two-time Academy Award winner Kevin Spacey comes out as gay. Netflix has canceled House of Cards, and production has also been suspended indefinitely. The announcement comes after actor Anthony Rapp accused Spacey of making unwanted sexual advances at him in 1986, when Rapp was only 14 years old. Spacey then tweeted he has loved and had romantic encounters with men throughout his life, and now chooses to live his life as a gay man, even after denying reports of being gay many times. Spacey denies any memory of the incident with Rapp, but says if it did happen, that he owes him a sincere apology for what was described as drunken behavior. Many celebrities and gay activists say coming out should not deflect from allegations of sexual assault or take away from the story of the survivor. How old is too old to trick or treat? Here's Tory Isaac in the newsroom with more.
I'd be lying if I said I don't still trick or treat, and some CSUN students think that's okay.
Never too old. I don't think there's an age. I think everyone should be a kid, especially on Halloween.
I think it's based off of height. So if you're a 7-foot, 12-year-old, you shouldn't be going out trick-or-treating.
Usually, you stop trick-or-treating when you're, 20, 19, I don't know.
I was actually thinking about this morning. If you are in, the good spirit and you're not being mean, I think, 16, If you're just doing it for fun and you're not egging anybody's house, I think that's totally fine. And you have a good costume.
You're 5'4" and 20 years old, you should be able to go trick-or-treating. They won't know.
No one's old. I'm 22 and I'm still cosplaying as a Power Ranger.
I'm going to say there isn't an age, as long as you want to.
Recreation and tourism management students created their own event to get students and staff into the Halloween
spirit.
spirit.
Assistant producers working for AIS Productions. So right now what we're doing here is we're basically having a pumpkin patch, and we're giving it to all the students who are coming here.
Head over to Cleary Walk to pick up your free pumpkin, paint a pumpkin, and play some festive games. Don't forget your free hot chocolate and cookies. Local retailers say the top-selling Halloween costumes this year include emojis, superheroes, and clowns. More Halloween news and weather.
It's a real-life March of the Penguins at Youngstown State University just in time for Halloween. 972 people dressed up as the school's mascot over the weekend to set the Guinness World Record for the most people dressed as penguins in one place, except for Antarctica. The event celebrated YSU's 50th anniversary as a state university and aimed to unite students, alumni, employees, and everyone in the greater Youngstown community. Looks like the Halloween spirit has arrived on set.
Don't let this weather trick you while you're out getting treats tonight. And make sure to have your sweaters and flashlights ready for the sun to set at 6 this evening. Today is mostly cloudy with highs around 69 and lows around 60. It's 64 degrees in Northridge and 63 degrees in Sylmar. You should expect light showers this weekend, so remember to dust off your rain boots while you're putting away your Halloween costumes. That is all the news for today. I'm Savannah Palacio.
I'm Ambar Rodriguez.
I'm Marissa Martinez.
And I'm Morgan Ball. We hope you have a happy Halloween, and thank you for watching Matador News.